Good day, everyone. We are at chapter 10 of Far from the Madding Crowd, and the chapter is titled Mistress and Men. In the last chapter, we were introduced to the character of Mr. Baldwood, and this chapter happens later the same day. Let's proceed. Later that day, Bathsheba met the workers to distribute the money they are to be paid. She begins by saying this: I have two matters to speak of. The first is that the bailiff is dismissed for thieving, and that I have formed a resolution to have no bailiff at all, but to manage everything with my own head and hands. So this was the first of the two things that Bathsheba wanted to tell to her workers. The first thing is that we have seen in the last chapter that, no, not in the last chapter, but in the 8th chapter, that the bailiff Pennyways, he was caught red-handed while he was thieving, and he was dismissed. Now in this chapter, Bathsheba gives a confirmation that the bailiff is dismissed for the act of thieving or theft. And Bathsheba also tells the decision she has made on that matter, which is that she wouldn't be having a bailiff at all, but rather she'd be managing everything on her own. The men breathed an audible breath of amazement. All the workers, everyone were amazed to hear that she was going to manage the farm on her own. It was quite uncommon during that time to have someone or to have a farmer or the owner of a farm to look after everything. And here it is a woman, and it was very rare at that time to have a woman who would be owning a farm and who would be managing everything on her own. And it was thus that there was an audible breath of amazement among the workers. The second matter she wanted to speak of was, I'll read from the text. The next matter is, have you heard anything of Fanny? We have seen in chapter 8 itself that her servant Fanny Robin went missing. And in chapter 9, Baldwood came inquiring whether there were any updates about her. Now in this chapter again, Bathsheba is asking whether anything has been heard about Fanny Robin. So the workers or the men updated her of what has been done to find about Fanny. One of her workers went to Casterbridge, someone went to another inn to inquire about her. So all these updates were given to Bathsheba. We know that Bathsheba is new to this farm. It was her uncle's farm, and now she is new. And after she came, the farm was managed by the bailiff. But now, since Bathsheba is going to manage everything on her own, she called each one of her worker up and familiarized with their job nature, and she also gave them their money. As Gabriel Oak was not present, him being away in search of Fanny, Henry suggested the need of a man under him. That is, Gabriel Oak needs someone under him. Then, young Cain Ball, or he was also called Caney, was assigned to assist Oak, or to be his under shepherd. Gabriel Oak would be the shepherd, and Caney or Cain Ball would be the under shepherd to Gabriel Oak. Now, Billy Smallberry, who is another worker, Billy Smallberry returned from Casterbridge, where he went in search of Fanny, because in the previous chapters we came to know that Fanny had a man courting her who is a soldier, and he is at Casterbridge. So Billy Smallberry went in search of Fanny to Casterbridge, and here let's see what news, or let's listen to the news with which he has come. The 11th Dragoon Guards, to which Fanny's man belonged, went away from the place after their duty. So this is the name of the army group to which Fanny's man belonged. The 11th Dragoon Guards. So since these guards left the place, Billy reached the conclusion that Fanny went after them, or went after her man in that group. So this was the update about Fanny that Billy Smallberry has got, and this was the conclusion that Billy reached about Fanny's disappearance. Before retiring to her room, Bathsheba addressed a few dignified words to the men. I'll read them out. Now mind, you have a mistress instead of a master. I don't yet know my powers or my talent in farming. But I shall do my best, and if you serve me well, so shall I serve you. Don't any unfair ones among you, if there are any such, but I hope not, suppose that because I am a woman, I don't understand the difference between bad goings on and good. So here she is kind of warning them, or kind of addressing them and telling them that if they do good, she would also be doing good. And that she'll try her best to manage the farm for everyone's benefit. She also tells this, I shall be up before you are awake. I shall be afield before you are up. And I shall have breakfasted before you are afield. In short, I shall astonish you all. So she is saying that she'd move ahead everyone to make sure that everything is going well. She'll get up before everyone gets up. She'll go to field before everyone would be coming there. So all these things she'd be saying, and she is confident that she'd be astonishing them. These are the significant events happening in chapter 10, Mistress and Men. Bathsheba takes charge of everything. She has dismissed the bailiff, and now she'd be taking over the farm. She'd be managing the farm on her own. She met the workers and tried to understand their duties. In short, she is ready to manage everything at the farm. Thank you.